yields in the Nigeria's bond market inched up slightly by an average of 5 basis points, despite few trades executed across the board. Bids for the 2025, 2023, March and January 2024 bonds saw an allotment at marginal rate, and I have Chuka Nwachukwu, the head of bonds trading at UBA. He joins me now for a midweek update on the activities in the fixed income and FX markets here in Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time today, Chuka. But let's first look at what the sentiments have been like this week.
Okay, thank you, Ken. The sentiment has been mixed, like you rightly said. On Monday, we had a bond auction where we had 3 maturities on offer, the 2025, the 2032, and then the 2042. The 25 maintained the 10%, which it came out the last time. The 32 dropped slightly by 5 basis points from 12.5 to 12.45. And then the 42 inched up by 10 basis points from 12.9 to 13%. So we've seen the trajectory follow that same pattern going into the week so far.
Still on the bond auction, how would you say it compares with what we've seen play out in previous auctions, and what's the trend that we're seeing here?
Yeah, the significant thing we saw is that we saw 225 billion on offer, and then well over 345 billion was sold. And so that's quite significant from the previous auction. And so we also saw that there were a lot of interest on the 2032 bond, which is the reason why we saw a drop, about 5 basis point drop in the yield.
But let's look at how we're seeing all of this play out in terms of liquidity and how the central bank can mop up here. What can we expect in your outlook?
The liquidity has been slightly tight. We've seen the rate hover around between 10 to 12% at the interbank market. So we don't expect any liquidity until probably towards the end of next week, where FAC will be paid. So between now and next week, we see a tight system liquidity, which will obviously play out in the market.
On the currency front, though, looking at the performance of the Naira, I'd like to get your take on what we've seen play out in the INE window, and also what's happening in the parallel markets as well.
Okay, so before I talk on the currency, let me briefly talk about the inflation figure that came out on Monday. So we saw about 90 basis point upward movement in inflation figure from 15.92 to 16.82. So that obviously has played out in the market. Also, that will also translate to what we see on the currency market, where we're seeing a bit of depreciation. We've seen that the dollar has a hover on the INE window between 4.20 to appreciated slightly yesterday to about 4.19 to 4.18 today. So going into the week and the month, we see this appreciation and depreciation here and there, especially as we inch towards the election months